Hello everyone, it is Wednesday morning on the 8th of April 2020. It's 11:20 a.m. and we are back at the Inspired to Learn COVID-19 virtual school, or virtual Easter school as it now is. It's great to see everyone, and thank you so much to everyone who's already sent me some photos this morning of what they've been up to. I see that lots of people have been having fun outside, and some people even taking on some of those indoor game challenges that have popped up today. Always great to see what you're doing. If you're here this morning, do put a comment in the comment box and say hello. It'd be great to see who's watching us and who's joining us live. We are here for a fantastic assembly, and I've got to share with you that we have a very special guest joining us this morning. I'm going to pop them up in just 2 minutes time. Before I do that, I'd love to know who's here and who's tuning in, so do put a comment in the comment box, because it's always nice to see who's here and what people have been up to today. If you missed our Good Morning Pal show this morning, we had a couple of people joining us live and sharing what they've been up to. It was good to see Evie and George, and also Emily and Alice. And I can already see that a few people are watching this news stream now. And hello to Philippa, who's watching from Maiden Castle Farm. Good morning, Philippa. Thank you for your communication over the last few days. It's good to hear from you. Hello from Harry and George, who are watching. Harry and George, I'm going to predict that you're going to absolutely love this assembly. And I think you're going to find this the very best assembly we've had yet. And there's a special reason for that, which I know there's something that you really like that's going to be part of this assembly, because I know you two, and I know what you like. Mrs. Emerton saying good morning from the Emertons. Hello, Emerton family. Thank you for joining us. It's 11:20 a.m. and we are here for assembly time, our whole school assembly. It's always good to see who's here and giving me a thumbs up. So thank you very much, and a wave from the Emerton family. Right then, shall we see who's here? Shall we see who our special guest is this morning? Let's see if I can put this up ready. We're going to say hello to Hilary. Good morning, Hilary.
Good morning, everybody.
How are we doing this morning?
We are doing brilliantly, thank you very much.
Now, Hilary, what's behind you there? You've got something interesting in your garden.
Right, okay, now I'm here to talk to you all about something that I find really exciting. It's one of my most favourite hobbies, and as some of you can see behind me, I have got some pieces of equipment, and this equipment belongs to my hobby, which is dog agility. Now, some of you may never have heard of dog agility. Some of you might have seen it on TV, like at Crufts or Olympia, and some of you may even have had a go at it yourself. Okay, so for those of you who don't know anything about dog agility, it is a very fast-growing sport in this country, which involves a series of obstacles, some of which, as I said, you can see behind me. And the idea is that we, as handlers, have to direct our dogs around a course which a judge has set up for us in the competition. So we need to direct our dogs around the course without making any mistakes, obviously in the right order, as quickly as we can. It sounds easy, but actually there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. And it does take a long time to actually train a dog properly for it to be able to compete in competitions. Now, this is something I've been doing for the past 17, 18, 19 years. I've actually lost count. And most weekends I go off with my 5 dogs, and we go off all around the country competing in various competitions. Unfortunately, this year is a little bit unusual in that all competitions have been cancelled for the moment. But that doesn't mean that we can't still have fun with our dogs. Because what I like most, I love doing competitions. I love winning rosettes and trophies. But what I actually love is being with my dogs, having fun with my dogs, having a good relationship with them, and doing something which they enjoy as well. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a demonstration, I hope, if all goes well, with one of my dogs. And if you've got any questions at all, obviously you can, I think there's a thing on the screen that you can type in, and I will happily answer any questions at all. But as I said, the first thing we need to do before we can do any of this fancy stuff is to get a good relationship with our dogs. And I'm sure a lot of you have dogs at home, and some of you, I'm sure, like to play with your dogs, because actually you can't do any of this fancy stuff unless you have got a good bond, a good relationship with your dog, and to find out what your dog likes to do and what rewards your dogs like. So I'm going to go in a minute to go and fetch one of my dogs to give you a little bit of a demonstration as to what I mean about playing with your dogs and getting a good relationship. So while I've gone, if you want to think of any questions that you want to type in the comment box, then have a think, and I will be back in 2 seconds. If you hear lots of barking, that's only my other dogs who also want to come out, but I can't have them all out at the same time. So I will be back in 2 seconds.
Fantastic. Oh, it's wonderful. So in a moment, we're going to see a bit of dog agility live. It'd be great to see if we've got any dog lovers who are watching. If you've got any dogs at home, maybe put their names in the comment box so we can give them a shout out and a big hello. Maybe you could go and get your dog to watch the dog agility live, and maybe they might like to do some tricks as well. Would be great to see your questions for Hillary. If you want to pop them in the comment box, and we'll put those to Hillary after she's brought her doggy out. Oh, and I think we've got someone here. Here we go.
Okay, right. This is my 2-year-old border collie. I shall move back here. 2-year-old border collie called Grammar. And as you can see, she's quite lively. She likes to have a little bit of a play. And we're going to do a little bit of a demonstration, if we can, about what I mean about play. Now, I want my dog to be able to be with me and to want to be with me at all times. So if I were to start a play, get it. We need to make our play nice and fun so that she likes to play. And every time I let go of my toy, I want my dog to come back to me and give it back to me. Yay! Good girlie. And we need to make ourselves very, very exciting all the time. Don't we, Grammy Lammy? Don't we, Grammy Lammy? Yes, a good girlie. Yay, thank you very much. Good girlie. And then eventually we can put a little bit of discipline into this. So we can ask for a sit. And we can ask for a wait. So go through my legs. Good girl. Sit. Wait. So if I throw the toy out, I would now expect her to wait until I give her a release command. Okay. Get it. Good girlie. And then she wants to bring the toy back to me. So I'm building up a good relationship with my dog. I'm finding out what she likes. Some dogs will prefer treats, food, but my dogs tend to like the toy instead. And I find the toy is a lot easier than having bits of food all over the place. So we can then go to start with sits. Good girl. And to a down, and sit. Okay, and then we can break it up. So we do little bits and pieces before we can go off and do all, as I said, all the fancy stuff behind. Go through. Good girl. Look. Okay, go. Yay! That's very clever. Really clever, Daddy. Thank you. And then we can go to right. Good girl. Left. Down. Okay, get it. So she's always looking to me for some instructions, which is what I want her to do when we get on to doing jumps. Now, the jump, as you can see behind me, is one of the first pieces of equipment that we ask the dog to do. Now, in order to do agility, the dog has to be a certain age. Otherwise, of course, we could cause some accidents, cause some injuries, which we don't want. So usually dogs about 12 months before we can actually ask them to do any jumps. And the jumps, as I said, can go at different heights. So we can go up to that height and then all the way down, right down to the floor. So with Grammar, she's 2 years old. She can jump fairly high, but for now, I'm going to keep the jump this height just to show you. So we'll go the other side and we'll just ask her to do the jump and to come back to me. So we're going to put her over here. Good girl. Go through. Sit. Good girl. So I'm asking her to sit. A sit wait. I'm going to, in a minute, release her to me, to the toy. Okay. Good girl. Wow. And then we have a nice play again. Okay. And then we can progress to other things. So we can do what we call a wing wrap. So I want her to go round the wing and back up to me again. Good girl. And we can tail lefts and rights. Ready, left. Yay! Good girlie. And if I want her to take the jump from the other direction, I go out, 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 out. Yay! Good Kelly. So all these sorts of things we gradually build up as we're training our dog. And this is what she finds really, really exciting and really fun. Okay, thank you.
Hilary, we've got a few questions here.
Yes, carry on. Yes.
Harry and George would like to know which breeds of dog are best at agility.
Oh, very good question. You will see a lot of border collies doing agility because border collies are working dogs. They love to work. So that makes our life a lot easier. They're also very intelligent, and they also, they're structurally, they're suited to it. They haven't got little legs and long bodies like some dogs, but any dog can do agility, I would say. Sometimes you just have to think outside the box and adapt your training to different dogs. I have a Parson Russell Terrier who prefers, if I'm honest, to go off hunting rabbits and chasing things rather than doing this. So I have to do short, sharp bursts, and as you can see, she would do this all the time. So any breed of dog can do it. It doesn't have to be a pedigree dog. It could be a crossbreed, a rescue, anything at all. The idea is to have fun with your dog.
And I think that answered in part the next question, which was, are all of your dogs the same breed?
No, I have 3 of these. I have 3 border collies. I have a Parson Russell Terrier, who's 3, and I have a miniature poodle who's 15. He was the one I first started with. So no, I've got different breeds, which is lovely because then it makes me think more about how I can train them all. They're not all the same. Like children are not all the same, and I would say dogs are not all the same either.
And Florence says, what's your favourite dog? Border Collies and Huskies are Flo's favourites.
I love all dogs. I have to say, I do obviously love my poodles, and I love my border collies, and I love my terriers because those that I have. But I would say I just love dogs in general. Huskies are lovely dogs as well. Really nice dogs.
And before you came on, I said that Harry and George would like this assembly, and that's because they've put a comment in. We have a border collie and a working cocker spaniel cross with a border collie, and that's from Harry and George.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, I would suggest those are lovely breeds for doing things with, using their brain. This is the great thing about agility. We use the dog's brain and we use their body as well. So 5 minutes of this and she's tired. I could go for 10-mile walk and she's not tired, but it's using their brain, which is important. So I would suggest thinking about maybe doing something like this with your dogs.
Olive says hello to you.
Hi,
And
Olive.
the Hoskin family ask, how many dogs do you have?
I have 5.
Charlotte asks, why does he listen to you? That's a good question.
Oh, that is a very good question. I think he listens to me because he's waiting. They're waiting for their next command because they know they're going to get a reward. So there's, again, we need to find out what reward each dog likes. So he listens to me, or they listen to me, to do something right, to know that they'll get the reward in the end. And for Grammar, the reward is the toy. She loves doing the equipment as well. The reward is the toy and to be with me, definitely.
Oh, fantastic. The Cleals ask, how old do border collies get?
Oh, gosh. They can get to, I don't know what the oldest border collie ever was, but a lot of border collies can easily get to 15, 16 years old. Obviously, they wouldn't be doing this at that age. You normally retire a dog when it gets to around 11, 10, 11, because then it gets a little bit difficult for them as they get older. But yeah, I think 15, 16 is a good age.
Oh, thank you. That's all the questions for now.
Okay, right. Shall I demonstrate a few other bits of equipment here?
Yes.
We've done the jump, the hurdle. That's the most common thing. You can probably see there we have a seesaw, thanks to my friend who's lent me all this equipment in my garden. The seesaw is quite a tricky thing for dogs to master because it moves. And some dogs don't like movement at all. So you have to be very, very careful at the beginning. It's not something you would teach them right at the beginning, probably. And some dogs are not afraid at all, and it's easier for them. So the seesaw, see if I can move this around a little bit. I hope it doesn't fall off. Wait a minute. There we go. The seesaw is like a normal seesaw. So the dogs have to go up it. It will then tip. And then we expect them to stay on the end until we release them. They're not allowed to fly off it. So I'm going to demonstrate with Grandma and see what she does. So she's going to run up as fast as she can. It's going to tip. And hopefully she's going to land with 2 feet on and 2 feet off. So we will give this a go. Ready, Gran? Ready for the seesaw? Ready? Ready? See. Yay! Good girlie! Wow! It's a seesaw! That's very clever! Thank you! Okay, go! Yay! So I hope you all saw that. She ran as fast as she could. She had to control her body so that she actually stayed on the end, which is quite tricky. I'll do one more of those. Are you ready? Are you ready? Gonna do seesaw? Wait for me. Ready? See! Yay! Good girlie! And I've rewarded her right on the end here because that's the area that I want her to stay on. Okay, thank you. Good girl. Well done. Okay. Similarly, we have, I'm getting in the way here. We have the dog walk. Now this is behind me here. I shall put it back here. Now this is a plank up, a plank across, and a plank down. So the idea is the dog runs as fast as they can over the dog walk, hitting with their feet the yellow bit at the bottom. If they don't hit that, then they get faulted in the competition. So I'm going to send Grandma over it, and she's going to run quite fast, not stop this time, and she's going to come over this jump as well. So I better move this back a little bit, otherwise we might crash into it. So let's give it a go. Ready, Gran? You do dog walk. You do the run. This way. Gran, this way. Not you going that way. Right. Ready? Run! Yeah, good girl. Wow! Let's try that one again, shall we?
I think I agree with you, Florence.
Run! Yeah! Good girlie! Whee! Let's go back here. So that was the idea. She runs as fast as she can, and in the competition, the judge will be judging to see whether she actually hits the yellow bit at the bottom.
Florence says
that dog is absolutely amazing. Yes, I will agree with you, Florence. My dog is absolutely amazing, but it has taken a lot of work. All right, it doesn't happen overnight. You have to have a lot of patience, and you have to want to do it with your dog. And your dog has to want to do it with you as well, which is great. Any more questions, or shall I go on to something else?
feel free to go on to something else. It's fantastic.
On something else? Right. The other thing I've got here, and I'll just swing it around here, are what we call the weave poles. Some people call them the slalom. So it's a set of, well, I've only got 6, but normally we have 12. So the idea is the dog has to go into the weave poles and weave their way all the way to the end without coming out. And we, the handlers, could actually be anywhere at all, and they've still got to complete the weave poles. And they have to go in with their left shoulder into the first weave pole. All right, that's very important, the left shoulder. So I'll try and show you that as well. Okay? So, are you ready, Granny? Come here then. No, come here. She's too keen, that's the problem. Are you ready? Where's your weavies? Where's your weavies? Weavies, 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 weavies. Yes, good girl. Wow. And then I can send her from the jump. Ready? Left, 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 left. Weavies, 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 weavies. Yes, good girl. Whee! Good girl. Some dogs find that quite tricky. If you've got a long body with your dog, it's quite tricky for them sometimes to get through the weaves. But it's something that a lot of dogs do love to do, because again, they can go fast, really fast, which is what lots of dogs love to do. So at the end of it, that's only some of the equipment. At the end of it, you've got like 20 obstacles to do, and you've got to really concentrate and make sure you do them all in the right direction. Okay, come lie down then, big girl. It's quite warm, so she's panting a bit. We'll give her a little bit of a rest. And make sure that you do them all in the right in the right order, which is what sometimes I find tricky, because if I go wrong, then she's going to go wrong as well. So I've got to really, really concentrate when I'm doing my competitions to make sure that I know exactly where I'm going, because we can walk around the course without the dog to start with. And then once we get on the start line and we go, we just got to do our best. But it is such fun. It's fun for lots of reasons. It's fun because you're with your dog. They give you so much joy and happiness, and we can give them a lot as well. You meet some really, really nice people who've all got the same interest as you, and you get to travel around the place and competing in different places. So fingers crossed that next year, when everything settles down, that we'll be able to do more competitions, and who knows, we might even get to Crufts or Olympia or something like that.
That was absolutely amazing, Hilary. Thank you so much for coming to share your passion with us this morning as part of our whole school assembly. We really appreciate your time, and special thanks to your special guest there.
she's hiding under the seesaw. She's a bit tired.
She's done a fantastic job. So thank you so much. We really enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing everyone back again at the end of today, 4 o'clock. We've got our Today at Power program. We'll let Hilary say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. See you soon.
And we will see Hilary again. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone. Thank you for all the questions. Harry and George loved this assembly. The message has just come up. I think I loved it too. It was fantastic. We will see you all again very soon. Bye-bye now. Thank you for watching. Take care.